Hi, everyone. Welcome to
Hello.
IN5D Global Predictions with my love, the beautiful, sexy, gorgeous, vivacious Allison. And I'm Greg.
Thank you, my sexy husband.
Thank you for joining us. I Miss America was the first one in. Hi to I Miss America. Where are you now? We were just kind of like chatting.
Yeah.
If you miss America, where are you now that you miss America?
Or is it you miss America being great? And
Oh, yeah. That's
could be
a
that.
possibility. Hang on a sec.
Yeah, that may. It's like you want the old America to come back. One when Trump was doing his thing. Mind you, there were still those evil ones in the background, wasn't there? So that's not so good. Yeah. Not so good. Just tidying up my table.
Hi, Joyce from she was Ireland, right? Joyce, or was no Scottish?
Scotland. Yeah.
And I miss America. Yes, I miss America being great. So you got it. That was it. So, and hi to Linda. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Linda. So Fort Myers, isn't that where your mum and dad live, Fort Myers?
My mom and dad are there, yes.
Yeah.
They're in North Fort Myers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Never got to meet your mum and dad. I was looking forward to that.
No.
I was nervous about it, but I was looking forward to it. So yeah.
My cards are still holding up well after putting cornstarch on them because they were sticking. And my cards are shuffling nicely and not sticking any. Still, and it's been like a month since I used that cornstarch on them.
That's good. Every now and again, they just need a cleanse, don't they?
They do. It sucks when the cards kind of like clump together. You got like 5 or 6 or more that clump together.
Yeah.
I should put my hair up.
Do it, darling. It's okay. I think you look sexy with your hair up. Greg looks like a Greek god. No wonder you thought he is sweet. Yeah, exactly. And he's an extremely lucky guy. Oh, thank you, Carlin.
Yes, he is.
We're both lucky.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Put your hair up, darling. Don't suffer. Don't suffer with your hair down, love.
Hi to Tracy, joining us from Ohio. And Cynthia.
Yeah.
Thank you for popping in. If you guys have any questions you'd like to ask us, put them in all capital letters, uppercase letters in the chat. And we'll get to them whenever we can, in order. But it makes it a lot easier to see what the questions are.
Yeah.
Sorry I missed earlier, but my daughter Friday had 4 wisdom teeth removed, all her wisdom teeth. She has a slight fever. She has me to cook for her. Aw.
Oh, it's
so
good
what do you cook
for somebody?
Yeah, what do you cook for somebody that has all their wisdom teeth out?
A stew, vegetable,
mashed potatoes,
yeah,
pudding.
Yeah.
Well, your pudding's different than our pudding.
You've got suet pudding. Do you have suet pudding?
I've never heard of it.
I don't know how to explain suet. It's like a savoury sponge thing. It's difficult to, yeah.
We take suet and we put it out for the birds in the wintertime.
Yeah, so do we. So do we.
But
You
also
like dumplings? You got
Dumplings?
dumplings over there? Yeah.
I love
Stew and
dumplings.
dumplings. No?
Yeah, yeah. Like chicken and dumplings is good. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the consistency of a dumpling is made into like a pie, and then there is meat in it, like gravy meat, like beef.
It just sounds gross with suet.
Suet pudding, yeah. Yeah, but there's no different than a stew or a casserole with dumplings. That's got the
Yeah.
same thing.
Now, if you just said it was like a dumpling stew, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds good. Suet stew? Ugh.
I don't know the difference. You're just being finicky.
Suet is just fat, basically.
No, it's not. No, that's not the same thing then. Not the same
Yeah.
thing. No. This is like a sponge. It's like, yeah, it's like a pie, but it's made out of like a dumpling mix.
Yeah, here, I'll show you. This is what we think suet is in the United States. Like a big piece of fat.
Oh, no. No.
That's all it is. It's fat.
Look
And you
up,
put it up with
look up
birds.
suet pudding. Look up suet pudding.
This is
UK
interesting.
suet
The first
pudding.
one I clicked on said British food, a history. And they have suet in there. All right, suet pudding.
Yeah. Steak and kidney suet pudding. There you go.
Where's the suet?
Well, that should be suet. It shouldn't just be pastry because it's suet.
But it's not. So there's no big chunk of fat in there, like what you just saw.
No. No.
See, wouldn't that gross you out if someone said, "This is what we call suet, and I'm going to give you suet pudding"?
Yeah, if you look at it like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just writing down some of these questions.
Linda goes, "Oh, here we go with the food again."
They started it by, she said about cooking for her daughter. That wasn't us. We didn't start
That's
it.
right. That's right. So we got Lilith. Sarah's got a question. Martel. How are you?
There you go. Anne Marie says, love suet pudding with steak and gravy. It's hard to explain. It is hard to explain. Yeah.
I'm with Linda. I love chicken and dumplings. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. We got some questions coming in early. That's good.
Yeah. So thank you, Skull Guy. I've written that one down about the military.
This is interesting. My voice sounds a bit lower than Allie's.
It is a little bit. Mm.
Isn't it supposed to be?
Not that
Oh.
low.
I thought you meant.
No.
Oh, here. Okay. Oh no, I get it now. Let's go like that. How's that? Is that better?
Little bit.
A little bit. Really, I cranked it up quite a bit. Oh, I see. Hang on.
Rob says upside down pot pie. Is that what a pot pie is? T says quite tasty suet puddings. Yeah.
Okay, this should be much better.
Yeah, that's definitely much better.
Yeah, my it wasn't picking up on my Yeti microphone. It was just picking up off of my. Yeah. So my laptop one. So we're good. We should be good.
Yeah, it wasn't picking up on your penis microphone.
Yeah.
White
Thank you
penis.
for pointing that out.
That's okay.
That's the first thing I thought, though. My voice sounds lower.
I
I hope it is. Yeah.
All good
Ellie's
now.
voice isn't as low as mine.
I hope not. It means my balls
Yeah.
dropped.
So thanks for pointing that out, Callie.
I like Callie. Named Callie. So Hallie is in my granddaughter. She's in Demelza House, staying there, which is a children's hospice. She gets to stay there because obviously she's got a life limiting thing, but she gets some stays there. She loves it. You know, they get one-to-one carer who just does anything she wants to do. So yeah, she's having fun.
How's everything with her and her boyfriend?
The lady at the school, Megan went there for something. The lady at school said, "Oh, Hallie and her boyfriend, they're so funny." She said, "Oh, aren't they?" Megan said, "Aren't they cute?" She said, "I wouldn't say cute. They sound like an old married couple. They're bickering."
Wow.
They're nagging each other, and like, yeah. So they're both visually impaired, and both, yeah, they're both good.
Aw. Yeah.
What I don't like is a bit, like if Mason messages, she's got to get to the phone quickly. It's like, oh, he won't, he'll be upset if I don't message back quickly enough. And I don't think that should be a pressure on her at, her age. But, apart from that, he loves his pieces, and they tell each other that they love each other. So cute.
Aw. That's awesome. I wonder who said I love you first.
I can't remember. I don't know.
So I think we got enough questions to get going. We have one about that submersible, but we got people talking about that as well here. Like here's one right here. I Miss America. What is the real story behind the missing sub and the Titanic? Was that similar to the question that you had?
I just put submarine missing ? Will people get there in time ?
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's take a look into it.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right. She's crazy. Crazy in love with me. So, yeah, I got some cards drawn. Okay. All right. The first card out was not good. I got the Tower. They're racing against the clock, and I think it was this morning where they said that they had 40 hours of oxygen left. So yeah, they're racing against the clock. I'm getting though, there's some hope though, that kind of like at the last minute, literally, they'll get saved. That it's not going to end. Despite the Tower, I'm just feeling that with the Nine of Cups that they're going to get saved, and it'll seem like it can't happen, but we got the Three of Pentacles, and that's teamwork. And when I see this, what comes to my mind is triangulation. Somehow they're going to be able to triangulate with the sub and find them and get them to safety. I think that's going to lead to this business being shut down and having regulations on submersibles afterwards. But yeah, initially it doesn't look good, but at the last minute, that's what I'm feeling. At that last minute, there's going to be some kind of triangulation. They're going to find them, and they'll be able to save them in time. That's what I have. Yeah.
Okay. So I've got a horrible feeling that there's going to be one passing or serious injury linked with one of them. But I do feel that they will be found, and I do think it will be in the nick of time. But I feel that when Greg showed the tower card, that's what I got. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of frustration around this, and I do feel as if this will be it's like politics will come into this again. It's all for the regulations to keep an eye on people. Even, I just feel as if this will be a chance for you've got to have, in order for this safety, we've got to keep an eye on you. We've got to regulate this. You can't just do this on your own, So, which is pants really, but yeah, I feel as if they'll find it just in time. But there's one of them that is just not looking good. I'm feeling, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
There is hope though right now. So, they're going to have to find it by probably noon tomorrow. That's where the oxygen pretty much runs out. So let's all put some loving, healing energy and prayers into that they do get saved and in time, because it's got what a way to perish.
That's
horrible.
Just the most awful. I wouldn't be able to do that. They say there's only room for one person to stand in it at a time. One person.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of anything worse.
I mean, where do they go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
Crazy. We had a question, and I did a screen share on it. I'll do one on it right now, but it's from Rosie. And would you like to write this down? She says, things are heating up in some countries with parents and schools. What will be the outcome? Let me know when you have that, and I'll remove it. Wow.
Who said that, Rosie?
Rosie, yeah.
I've got it, yep.
Okay, so things are heating up in some countries with parents and schools, and I think this has a lot to do with the LGBTQ kind of thing that's getting pushed onto a lot of people. And the first card out is transition. And transition, right? But it's actually transition. It's moving away from what the agenda is pushing. There's people, this is so true, that there's a lot of people that are like this. Someone's saying something that someone doesn't want to hear. And that, I think that is that whole agenda being pushed into our face as a collective. As I mentioned in our previous show, in Italy, they replaced the Pride Month with Family Month, they call it Family Month. They stopped doing that. Allie and I were talking about how kids are waking up. The middle school and high school kids are finally saying, we've had enough, and they're voicing their opinion. Now, this is for entertainment purposes only. And we've said this all along on this show, if that's who you are and what you represent, that's all on you, it's fine. But a lot of people have an issue with it just being pushed into our faces, and being forced to accept things that go against our morals. For example, if you have a kindergarten age child and there's drag queens provocatively sitting, exposing themselves to your children, I'm totally against that. And I'm not the only person. So the last card I drew, painful endings. 10 of Swords. And that's how it's going to end, because what we're seeing here in the United States, all of these woke companies are just going belly up. Look at Bud Light. Oh my God, they lost their number one status, which doesn't make sense, because if you remember, the woman that decided she was going to hire that transgender person to be their representative, she said it was because sales had been failing, but yet they were still number one. How badly could the sales be failing? And she was saying they wanted to get away from the fraternity beer drinking kind of association with their brand. And then she misjudged miserably. And because they forced that, just like the schools are doing, that LGBTQ agenda, the transgender agenda onto us, people rebelled and they said no. And we're going to speak with our money. And that's where the painful endings come in. You can look at what happened with the department store Target, who initially put all their LGBTQ plus merchandising, and they had a lot of it right in the front of the store. Well, people got pissed and they said, we don't want this. They were making videos. Sales went down for them. They ended up moving all that stuff in the back of the store and cut down the total inventory to almost nothing. And in some places, nothing, I believe, because people have spoken with their wallets and their purses. They don't want this. Jack Daniels has gone woke. Levi Strauss has gone woke. Coors Light. Modelo is now the number one beer, even though I think they still have some kind of connection with Anheuser-Busch. If I were to drink beer, I'd probably drink, what is that? Yingling. Because they seem like they stand for moral values, So, if I were to drink beer, that's probably the beer I would drink. But yeah, I see this whole thing coming to a painful ending, because people have spoken. I think there's going to be some kind of compromise, though, because it's not going to be, we're maybe not a whole month. They might retract that. I don't know what they're going to do, but I can see some kind of compromise, at least, to keep both sides happy without one going after the other, and we'll see what happens out of that. But it's all going to work itself out. It's not going to be pretty initially, though. That's what I have.
My love, I've just sent you that Rye College piece. If you can just listen to it, you'll hear that it's okay to play, and it would be a good thing at this point to play that, because those children, they did amazing, standing up to their teacher.
I can't play it with the microphone on. Maybe we'll do that Thursday, though.
Oh, okay.
Unless you want to do it. I can't, like I said, I can't do it with my microphone
Well,
on.
I want your go ahead first. So I've sent it over to you so you can listen to it.
I trust you.
Do you? Do you?
Of course I do.
You're transgender. No, but regarding, because sometimes I'm like, yeah, this is brilliant. You're like, that's fake.
All right. Well, let me listen to it, and maybe we'll bring it back on Thursday.
Yeah, listen to it. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's some brilliant comments going on here. So Phil Christopher said, how did it go from Pride once a year to them having a whole month? Exactly. So Carolyn says Rolex is no longer making any watches. They are done with business. Yeah. Trace, I hope your daughter heals well. Oh, okay. There was another one. Hermes Purses bankrupt. Victoria's Secret bankrupt. Miller's Light. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for all of these comments.
Coors Light. Yeah, Coors Light was the other one that they were saying. It said Colors Light, but I think they meant Coors.
Yeah, Coors Light. Yeah. So yeah, lots of that. So yeah, we got the tower. Okay, so it is all crumbling around. Whenever you mess with the children, that's the limit. Okay, messing with the children. So these children are coming home and talking about all sorts of messed up things, and I think Olivia said, I want to be a boy, or just out of the blue, and it's like, where are you hearing that from? She's homeschooled, so she must have heard it from, one of her little programs on little YouTube Kids. She must have heard it there.
Wow.
It's like, stop it. She's 4.5. Stop. So yeah, they are just saying enough is enough. Letting go, walking away from all of this. And people will use they'll use their money to stop. With all of this. I mean, when it all came out about LOL toys, that when you actually submerged the LOL dolls in ice cold water, they actually had suspenders, bras, stockings on these dolls, children's dollies, LOL. So yeah, there was lots of videos going about that, and people have boycotted that. But trouble is, people have short memories, and this is what happens again. It all comes out again. So hopefully there'll be more footage that will come out about people standing up to these school boards. There was one little boy I saw, and he was reading from a book, and this book was very explicit. This book, talking about a sex scene. The child was 7, I think, 7 or 8, and he was reading from it, and it was uncomfortable to hear the actual wording. But he, brave little boy with his dad backing him up, stood there and read this out, and he said, "This is not appropriate for me to read this. It's not appropriate." And yet the person, the librarian, said, "We've got the second volume to that as well if you want it." It was like they were pushing it onto the children, saying, "Yeah, it's all coming apart. It really is." Their agenda is being seen. It's too obvious. The agenda is too obvious. What that agenda is, and parents don't want it. Absolutely don't want it. So yeah.
I never noticed this one. Pride Month, take out the PRI and the TH at the end, and you got demon in the middle. Interesting.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Mark. Okay, so our next question is, I got to be writing these down too for later on.
I've got that one written down.
So we had the sub, and
So there was a comment about Tracy's daughter. I've tried to look back to see if I can find that message. So whatever happened with your daughter, I'm hoping that your daughter's okay. So yeah, it's difficult when we're doing the cards and swapping back and forth. It's difficult to catch up with all the messages. So we do apologise if we haven't.
Yeah,
Yes.
we can't keep up with the chat as well as what we did on our 8 o'clock show. So, all right, our next question comes from Skull Guy, and he's saying military movement to the west coast, to the west coastlines. What's going on? Well, I made a post earlier, and let me see if I can find. No, I can't. I'm going to have to go on to. Bear with me. We did this post earlier on our last show, and I'm going to have to mute the sound. Okay, it is. So what you're looking at here is the U.S. military guarding the border of the U.S., and they're all over down here in Florida. It's a good thing. Doesn't look like that many, though, on Texas, but you can see them on the Pacific coast all the way up to Canada, and then up here by the Great Lakes. You can see them here. But yet, you wonder why is that going on? And we've been seeing a lot with the military going on. Here's a map of the China mobilization, and you can see them all over the same places where we saw the U.S. troops. So it makes people question, what's going on with this mobilization from both China and the military. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even. So yeah, let me just. This is what we're looking at right here. So China mobilizations in the red right here, all around, and the U.S. military are putting troops all over our borders as well. So here in the United States, makes you wonder what's going on. Why is this happening, right? So we have seen military movement, and I'm not sure specifically, Skull Guy. I've seen and I've proven that some of these videos that are coming out, especially from the West Coast, are old videos. But apparently there's some newer ones coming out. I haven't been able to vet those videos. There are, we know, some kind of video in Philadelphia, but there's this one F-tard on Twitter that keeps posting old videos, and he was one of the initial people that was starting this rumor about what's going on. So it's tough because we don't know. You're getting info and disinfo, and this guy's putting out some disinfo BS, and it pisses me off when I see that, and I always will call them out for that on Twitter. Derek Bros, I think the guy's name is Broes. So yeah, whatever he posts, 90% chance it's BS. But so yeah, the military movement to the West Coast, I don't know, but what I do have is backs are against the wall. We got the Knight of Wands, and I think we've been put into a compromising position because I drew the Lover's card, but what I'm seeing is like this is a relationship with Biden and all the countries that he's compromised the United States with. He's basically a traitor. He's been bought and sold. There's no effing way. Well, I can't say that, but it has to do with the election. And you guys can pretty much read my mind on that. But yeah, I'm seeing that he's bought and sold, and we also have betrayal and deception, which goes back to Biden as well. So, but I think intuitively, I think what they're trying to push right now, obviously they don't want Trump to come back. And if they can get the United States in some kind of martial law lockdown, they might be able to bypass the elections. I mean, Joe Biden's not even doing any debates or anything. That's unheard of. There's a video I have. I think I can play it here. No, I can't. I'll play it on Thursday on our uncensored version. But there's a video that I have. I think it's on Rumble as well, where Joe Biden said something, and I'm paraphrasing, that real leaders lead. And then recently, he was at some event, and this lady has to grab his hand, and he had to follow her to the next group of people that they were supposed to meet with. He can't lead himself, obviously, and his words are coming back to haunt him. But what's going on? There's a lot of potential for things to go on. But what I'm getting, ultimately, Allie, get rid of those dirty thoughts from your head. But I got the Fool card. We got the new beginning. And to me, this represents that change that's coming, that I've predicted. And with Trump getting back in as president by the first week of September, I'm still standing by that. And I know that's an outrageous prediction, but I'm just feeling that everything's going to culminate and come down with the whole voter issue and Hunter and the laptop, and I think more things will be getting disclosed. So I see Trump coming in, and things are going to get shook up before they can go south. That's what I have. Sorry, it was a long roundabout to get to where I am, but that's what I see.
It's all good information, my love. It's all good.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah. So I got that there has been huge anger going on. There's been some huge behind the scenes, this massive row, this massive argument with some leaders. Something's really kicked off. They aren't telling anybody, but it's got to boiling point, and threats were made, big threats. So I feel, this is very, very important to keep an eye on this. And I also feel that it happened with lots of countries all together. There's something, it's like, it's kind of like the end game, like we're coming for you now, or this is happening. It's like, you go for it, we're ready for you. So it's like a battle plan that has been happening. So Amanda Croft says military movement in Australia too. Weird, it's coordinated on 2 continents. I feel as if it's going to be a lot more. So I haven't looked. This is just what my guides are saying, that there is a lot more going on as well in other countries. There's a lot of strategy going on. And I do feel as if this is around the trafficking and things like that. I do feel as if it's around that. I feel as if it's a bit of a nail-biting time for, the good guys, the white hats. Okay. I do think that Trump is involved in the negotiations, trying to calm the situation down. or take charge of it at least. I feel that everything is upside down at the moment, that we're not going to know kind of what's going to happen yet. When I look at the cards for the future to do with this, I see a business person being able to negotiate and sort things out. And I feel as if this is like getting other people on board that may be part of the, you know, it's like, you know, when you get the next person down to turn on the leaders, okay, and get this under control. So I do feel as if this is there's a plan in place. It's definitely more complicated than we know. Definitely more complicated than we know. So yeah, but obviously it's all part of the plan. I feel that this is all part of it. It's in, you know, it was expected is what I got. It was actually expected. So yeah.
All right. Thank you, my love. Let's go to this question right here because I accidentally skipped over some questions. Let's go to this one. When will T?
And then her dog knocked her hand and sent the message.
Actually, there was one before that, so let's go here. When will T? I don't know. Let's pull some cards on when will T. Miss America is saying, is this the beginning or the end of the Hunter Biden prosecution? Okay. Well, what do we have? What do the mystical cards have to say about this? Well, apparently, there's a lot of choices. I don't think there's a definitive answer at this point because there's so much going on. I do see like, you know, lack of confidence, a lot going on in Hunter and Joe Biden's heads right now. Financial loss is coming. So you know, that speaks a lot about what the outcome is for Hunter Biden. And although I wonder if that's what it's basically going to be, like this huge fine and he doesn't have any jail time or something like that. But that doesn't matter because there's so much more along with that laptop, that justice is coming and justice will be served. So regardless of what comes out of it, there we go. Regardless of what comes out of it right now, it's certainly not the end. It's by far not the end. And we're going to hear a lot more about this, especially while, you know, Pluto is in Capricorn and that truth vibration continues to rise and get stronger. Yeah, we're not done with this. That's what I have.
Okay. So I have been told that there is 3 different parts to the laptop and the prosecution. I know I had this with Greg earlier, and I don't know why it is, because it's not my end. It looks perfect my end, but yes, I don't know. Anyway, they're saying that there's 3 parts to the laptop and prosecutions. So it's like they're going to do them separately. Okay, so one thing will be about the child PORN stuff. There's going to be another one about the drug taking and things like that. And the other one is about, obviously, the money for the big guy, that one. There's probably more than that, but there's definitely 3 main ones. The fact that the laptop, actually, I feel it may have been a cry for help from Hunter in the first place. I feel that that man is so messed up with what the family have done to him. I feel as if he was one of these cases. He was definitely abused and all sorts when he was growing up. I feel that he was part of this a mind control project, and I feel that that is his head is completely messed up. Not saying it's right what he's doing. It's not. It's absolutely not. But it's like I feel he has suicidal moments, and I believe that the laptop was deliberately put there, and he was going to not be here to see the consequences of what was going to be revealed on that. I feel that he was going to take his own life. That's how I feel, and I've been told that several times, repeatedly from my guides. So I do feel as if it was a cry for cry for help, and also because he wanted to expose his father, because there's secret hatred there, and things like that. So his dependency, I feel as if, could even be that his dad pushed it at one point, because he was starting to talk about other things, and they wanted to discredit him so nobody would actually believe a word he says, because of his, that's what they do, they try and discredit. So yeah, he's had to go into himself to work out what was actually happening. So yeah, he definitely feels betrayed, and part of him wants to betray his father. So wouldn't surprise me if he's actually not going to go against his father and become more of a whistleblower. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Could be playing both camps at this moment.
Damn. I think he's too much of a crackhead to do anything competently.
Of course.
Uh-huh.
Of course. Yeah.
So thank you, honey. Our next question is from Carolyn. Please put them in uppercase, because I almost missed this one. Okay. What do you think about the banks going down this week? Prediction from some lady. So apparently she says that banks are going down. We can take a look into it this week. All right. So what do we got? We know they are going down at some point, right? Are they going to go down this week? Got the King of Pentacles, first card out. Not feeling it so far. Basically, that's, wealth and business. So he's got his cake and he's eating it too. Got the Two of Pentacles. Now, what are they going to spend that money on? What are they planning on? So it looks like the banks are going to get some kind of saving grace for now, but inevitably it's going to lead to financial loss and poverty. The collapse is coming. I'm not seeing it though. With the first two cards out, I'm not seeing it happening this week, but it's definitely coming. That's what I have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lots of banks here are boarded up, and the branches are closing here in where I live in Herne Bay. So my feeling is, obviously, I think it's going to be business as usual. I think there's going to be just a transition. It's just going to be a quick transition over to the new system. I feel that they've already been trained with the new system in place. They've already been trained. A lot of the staff know about it already, and it's just I don't feel as if it's going to be as a bigger disruption as people are thinking. But let's have a little look, see what else they say. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of gossip and scary talk going on at the moment, and people kind of rushing to their banks, wanting to, get some money out to cover them. I feel, it might be a sensible idea to grab some out. Of course, have some cash with you if you've got that. Have some cash with you, just to last you kind of a week. But I don't feel as if it's going to be a big deal. I think they've been planning this for such a long time, that they've got it all covered. All of it is covered. Yeah, they're dealing with this head on. Okay, and it feels as if it's like for like, so you're not going to lose the money. The only thing that's going to be lost, and that could be, that there's debt forgiveness, and I feel that very strongly, debt forgiveness. So yeah, that's all they're saying. But is it all going to transition this week? I'm not getting a no, but I'm not getting a yes either. So I can't really help you. I know it's a bit wishy-washy, but I feel as if it's so close, but there is always something. It's like there's something. Okay, my guides are saying they won't even tell us beforehand. It will just be, it's done, and that is because they're trying to not alert the black hats before they do the transition switch. It's got to be that they are not ready for it, because otherwise they can do something to counteract it. So yeah, it's going to be kind of like, only a certain few people will know about it when it's going to happen. So we wouldn't be told. Yeah, that's what I get.
Yeah, I mean, we're in situations like that, we're always going to be the last ones to know. That this shit's been planned for millennia, basically. It's not just happening because it's just happening. It's been planned for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay, Crystal Princess has a question. Someone out here is telling me the phones are going to go down like a blackout. Okay. I haven't heard that, but we'll take a look. We'll see what's going on. See if the phones are going to lose their telecom community. I love that woman. She is such a nut. I love you, hon. But are the phones going to... Well, there's a couple... It's possible. I don't, definitively. What I'm getting is that they need, there's going to be some other distractions coming up, and the phones could be one, but there's other choices that they have, because they don't want people focusing on either Trump in a positive way or Hunter Biden. Look, their backs are against the wall right now, and they're gonna be coming out with distractions, and heavy thoughts right now are going on. Financial loss, poverty again. So and here we got the Four of Cups again. A lot on your mind. So to me, this is screaming something's coming up, and it's probably a huge false, what, begins with an F and it lags, F lag. Oh, what happened to us? Oh, here it is. Yeah, so because all this shit's starting to culminate against Joe Biden and his son Hunter, even the mainstream media every day they're throwing Joe under the bus right now. But yet I posted on my Telegram page, the IN5D Telegram page, there was a poll on Fox News, of all places, Fox News, which is a bunch of shit now that Tucker's not there. He actually went to Oh, I forgot the name of the TV station, though. Apparently, he signed a big contract there, and he brought a bunch of his people with him from Fox. One American Network, OAN. But I posted something on my IN5D. I'm scrolling for it right here. Here it is. Yeah. Let me do a screenshot of this. This is, boy, this, you're gonna say, man, ain't that a crock of you know what? Here it is, I think. Yeah. So if the election were being held today, who would you vote for? And this is on Fox. 48% said Biden, 44% said Trump. Is anyone believing that? I don't think liberals are believing that. Honestly, it's crazy. No. But that's how the mainstream media wants to try to influence your vote and, you know, what popular opinion is. There's no effing way that Biden has any more than 10%, you know, pull going for him at this point. So yeah, I'm looking at something. It's going to be a huge distraction. It could be a major false F, and it could be something to do with the phones, but I'm not getting that definitively. I'm seeing that, like I said, they have choices going on, and it could be, but I'm not getting that definitively. But something's gonna go on. Something's gonna happen real soon, because it's all coming down on the Bidens, and they need a distraction. That's what I have.
Okay. So I love you. We're such children. Yeah, so I feel as if they are doing everything possible to prevent any disruption to our daily lives. I honestly feel this. And if there is any disruption, then it will be hours, not days. I just don't feel it, you know. So yeah, if they put it this way, anything to do with the transition, it would only be disrupted for a little while. If things do disrupt for longer than that, then that's a black cat pop. It's their way of counteracting everything. So I just wanted to say hi to Coconuts there. We haven't seen you for a while. Hello, Coconuts there. Yeah, so I feel that I'm not feeling that there's huge disruption to the phones. You know, I mean, Greg and I get by with using Facebook Messenger to call each other. Mostly that's how we communicate. So yeah, you know, there are other ways of communicating. So if that does happen, don't forget, you know, try using Messenger as well. So yeah, can't confirm that that's what's going to happen. I honestly feel as if there's a lot of information out there that is just trying to ramp things up and disrupt people, make people scared. You know, like, what happens if I can't get hold of you? What happens if this? What happens if that? You know, I do know, I've heard about a lot of people been receiving these satellite phones. The satellite phones are, I feel, precautionary. It just feels as if it's precautionary at the moment. But could it be a natural phenomenon that means that your phones don't work? Yeah, I feel as if there's a lot going on with sun activity at the moment. So could that disrupt things? Yes. But as in, do we know anything about phones going down? No. I think they're trying to disrupt your mindset. Yeah. What do you get done?
Okay. Yeah. Lots of distractions going on out there.
Mm.
Joyce said, I was trying to ask, when will we know the world is waking up? My dog is asleep now.
Her dog knocked her hands when she was trying to write it.
Okay. So
Oh.
when will we know the world is waking up? Well, wow. Like what Allie was just saying, I think it's coming back to this answer as well. Is that, well, first off, we have, the Eight of Swords, this anxiety, worry, and fear. And that's what the mainstream media and all governments are trying to do. If you look at the template of all religions and all government, it's the same thing: subservience, control, and conformity. Anxiety, worry, and fear. Same thing. Nine of Swords. Got more swords here. Got the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords. And a lot of people, I think, as what Ellie mentioned, a lot of people are focusing on all this crap that's going on. And I mentioned earlier that for myself, I need to get back to the whole meditation thing, because a new earth is being built right now. And that's where, a lot of us need to be putting our thoughts and intentions, and that part of the justice, that new earth will be coming. But it's really important not to put too much energy into the fear. Be cognizant of it. Don't bury your heads in the sand if you so feel inclined not to do. Because, like I said, there are some people that are here just to hold space, while the rest of us go in and do the dirty work of waking people up with the news that we're talking about here on Global Predictions. But don't get too deep in there where you can't lift yourself back out and get back to that center space, okay? And everything will work out okay. So when will we know the world is waking up? When we get out of the mind and into the heart. Yep.
Okay. Well, are you guys noticing more that people are starting to get more sarcastic now about the government and about, what's going on and the news and things like that? People are getting more and more sarcastic. We know that that's all bullshit, whatever the news say, and we know that this is, going on and that's going on. Now that's how it's like a little bit under the current. So, they don't want to go into detail, but they'll make a passing statement like that. That's the first start of knowing that they're waking up, that they're not believing all the bull crap anymore. Whereas before, it was like the government know best. If they say we've got a lockdown, then we've got a lockdown. If this is happening, this is happening. Just look out for that, because I think it's going to give you a lot more hope than you realise that things are changing. The world is waking up now. Most people now are putting little memes about that is being sarcastic about politics, especially Mr. B. Nobody's taking him seriously. Let's face it, nobody. Whoever's playing that actor, whoever's playing and acting Biden is doing a wonderful job. Absolutely wonderful. How many people has that woken up to the realization that none of this actually is real, that nobody could possibly take that man seriously at all. The same with Sunak. Nobody's taking him seriously here in England anymore. In fact, the speaker of our the person who runs our Parliament building actually told the Prime Minister off in the middle of Parliament, in front of all the MPs, and said, "You can't be talking like that to another MP. You need to answer the question that has been asked of you." I mean, really? He was telling everybody off. I mean, so yeah, he's a new guy and he's coming in and really shaking things up. So yeah, I don't really need the cards to say that. Just look for these little signs that will cheer you up, because it is all happening. It really is. You know, it's time. You know, perhaps it's our time to be kind of just making little jokes, little light-hearted comments. You know, asking people to ask themselves that question. You know, what do you think? Do the government really look after us? What do you think? You know, and then putting that out there and let other people ask themselves that question. Yeah. So don't think that you're not doing good work if you're, you know, just making little comments. It's working.
James O'Keefe from Project Veritas just released a new video today, and he's undercover. There's a woman that he had undercover with this employee of BlackRock, and the BlackRock employee said that here in the United States, they can buy a senator for $10,000. They can give him a $10,000 offer. Here, you know, you're going to accept. When you accept this $10,000, you're going to start doing things for us, and then maybe 5 months later, they'll offer that senator $500,000 to make something into policy that works in BlackRock's favor. And he said that this is not just with senators; it's with presidents, all world leaders. Doesn't matter. They got them all in their back pocket. Not necessarily all of them, but many of them, or most. And that's all you need if you want to get a bill passed or a vote passed. Get most of them in your back pocket. Yeah. So most of them are compromised.
Yeah. I think most of us realize it as well, but I didn't know it was that cheap. I mean, that's scary.
$10,000. Yeah.
It's that cheap to do that.
Yeah. Okay, our next question, we got a couple more that we'll be doing. This comes from Martel. And will they be prosecuting Mr. T into 2025? It's for 2 years, or will it end before 2024? I don't even think I need to do the cards on this one, although I got cards drawn. Number one, my prediction is that Trump will be back in office as president. Biden will get the boot by the first week of September. So, but number two, the judge for Trump's case was appointed by Trump. There's no effing way. As a matter of fact, I just saw that they said they want all the supporting documents in by July 24th. This is going to be a relatively quick hearing. That's what I heard from the judge and personnel that are involved with that hearing. So it's not going to go very long. They put a gag order on Trump, and I think that's where the devil card came out. So he can't talk about anything, which is bullshit. There's a lot of illusion going on that we have with the moon card. Look over here. While Trump's got his gag order on, and he can't speak anything about that particular indictment. We got people walking away from the scene saying, fuck it. But in the end, we got the world. So this is coming in. And I think, like I said, he's going to be in by the first week of September. There's your world. Yeah. So you can bring yourself back in, because I'm done. He's got the world, and things are going to be A-okay, baby. Finally got the world. Man, it's been a while since I drew the world card.
I don't think I could say anything better than what you just said. I feel it. I feel it. But they're gonna. I still feel as if they. If it was up to them, they'd keep going until they caught him, and they'd just keep making up loads of shit. Yeah. But yeah, up until Gregg said to me about that Trump had appointed this judge, I was feeling quite gloomy about it. Actually, I was feeling quite sad, and a bit frightened, in fear actually, before he said that. So, thank goodness. Thank goodness that this is going to be all fine. So yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, hang on. Here we go. And Rob says, strong X 1.0 class solar flare erupts from the sun. Sun emitted strong solar flare peaking at 1:09 p.m. So that's probably going to take, on June 20th, that's probably going to take 2 to 3 days to reach us.
Right.
So there's going to be a lot of energies coming in. There's a good chance that, let's see, today's Tuesday. By Friday, empaths and energy sensitives are you're gonna feel like someone socked you. You're probably gonna get really, really tired. You'll end up wanting to take naps throughout the day, and but realize that these solar flares are bursts of energy, photonic energy, and they contain light codes that are beneficial to your spiritual progression. Okay. So yeah, thanks, Rob.
I don't get a lot of these energies, so I'm quite lucky, really, or unlucky. I don't know. I just don't get many. I get tired, but then I don't sleep much anyway. So every now and again, tiredness catches up with me. So yeah.
Okay.
I've made you a present. Look, this is for you. Isn't that lovely? Present.
It's a DNA strand.
Yeah. I was doing those with the grandkids. I was cutting out bits and pieces, like advertising bits and pieces, and I had these little strips of paper like this. I don't like chucking things away, so I thought, what can I do with that? I would do those things with the grandchildren. So I got all the grandchildren making these.
Aw.
Yeah.
Simple things, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Our last question of the evening comes from Linda. And she's asking, how and where will we get our quantum phones? Is it true that we will get them?
All right.
Quantum phones, yeah. We shall take a peek in the mystical, magical cards. I'm using the Everyday Witch cards by Deborah Blake. Okay, so, well, there's a lot of, there's contingencies is the word I'm getting, that if this happens, then that'll happen. Things have to fall into place in order for that to happen. And at some point, things are going to get pretty crazy. There's going to be some fast-paced changes going on that culminate into new beginnings. And I think that'll be the beginning of when we start hearing more about that, the quantum phones. But things have to lay out and happen beforehand. So I'm not seeing a definitive timetable on anytime soon, although it could be. If something happens here, then this might say tomorrow, yeah, here they are. Things have to fall into place. And I think what this boils down to is what I was talking about beforehand, getting your mind out of the head and into the heart. The more we get that, the more opportunity for positive advancement for humanity happens. So it's really up to us. But, what they're doing is trying to distract us. All this shit's going on over here. All this shit's going on over here. What's going on up here? What's going on in here? Right? So many distractions out there. And it's really important that we find that center. And the more that we live in the heart and through love, the quicker those choices are going to be made that bring us into that possibility of having the quantum phones sooner than later. That's what I have.
Okay.
You look so beautiful, by the way.
Oh, my hair is wet. I didn't have time to dry my hair, so I just chucked it up. Thank you.
Mine was damp in the back when we came on. Yeah.
Funny.
Of course. Yeah.
Just so you know, I did put a link up in the chat halfway up.
I saw that.
That is the one where the children are just being heroes and just going, F you, teacher, we're not backing down. And they didn't after being grilled. You're going to go to the headmaster's office. You can't be talking like this. And it's like, talking like what? We're just giving our opinion.
It's like that.
Yeah.
It's like that Pink Floyd song. Hey, teacher, leave those kids alone.
Yes.
I always found that song to be very ironic because part of the song says we don't need no education. Well, that's a double negative. So apparently you do need some education.
Yeah, but the right one. The right education. Not that shit they're pushing. Yeah. No, it's really, really good video. I was like punching the air going, yes, I love you. If that was my child, I'd give them as much money as I wanted, as much of money as I could to say, I'm so proud of you. Well done. Well done. Because, it's brilliant. Anyway, when you get our quantum phones, I do feel, as Gregg was doing his reading on this, I was just feeling the energy of the phones. And what I was picking up was, it's like I'm seeing the quantum phones. It's what I saw was a normal, like a phone that just looks like a normal phone. And I feel that as if people will transition, like at the end of their contracts, they would be transitioning onto this new device that everybody's going to want. I feel that there will be a certain either app or something that will be on your phone in between times, because not everybody will be able to get hold of these. But there is definitely, it is all being sorted out in the background. This is all going to happen. And it is a case of just wanting more people to wake up and want change. It's like, they can't just bring in change because there will be uproar about it, but as soon as there's more and more people who are protesting, they've put in new laws now in England about protesting, and the fact that if it disrupts anything, then that's it. Or nurses or doctors, if they protest, they can actually lose their jobs. There's a lot of stuff going on there. I haven't read the whole thing, but it isn't good going on here. So it's like, well, how do you make your voice heard? How do you, petitions don't blooming work. So anyway, I do feel as if, more and more people waking up is going to speed this up. Yeah. So sorry, I can't be more definite than that. All I can say is it's definitely going to be happening. I saw them. I saw the devices. Yes. So.
All right. Yeah, well, it's basically the same thing. A lot of it depends on us and our awakening at what speed technology comes to us, and including med beds and everything else that, patents being released and everything. It boils down to, us. We need to bring that in, instead of saying they need to do this or they need. No, it's us, all of us. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that wraps up another wonderful, fun-filled evening of predictions for Allie and me.
We've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed it.
Oh, always, as always. Yeah. You guys always come up with some great questions for us to look into, and we enjoy doing that for you. So, every Thursday night, we're going to be coming back to you at 8 p.m. Eastern for our live and uncensored show on. Well, we'll actually be here at 7:30. I might. Well, you might. I don't know. Are you going to be here on Thursday at 7:30?
I don't think I've got anything else on. The only time I can't be there really is when I'm doing an event, because I can't get back quick enough. I just can't. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, we'll be here on YouTube and Facebook at 7:30 for our little pregame warm up, and then we'll be on Rumble afterwards. So at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, and 1 a.m. UK time. So and then of course we'll see you back here every Tuesday at 8 for Gregg and Allie Live, and then 10 for our global predictions. So it's always been a pleasure and an honor for us to spend our nights with you guys as well. We're all part of this huge In5D family, and you guys are just so friggin' amazing, and you can feel the love and the community between everyone.
Definitely. And try and reach out to each person. If you can, reach out to anybody.
Yeah. Anything else you want to wrap up with?
No, my hour readings I've put at 75 minutes. So instead of it usually being 60 minutes, it is 75 minutes. So yeah, for the same price.
Okay. All right. And check out In5D Quantum Tie-Dye. All shirts $24.99 or less right now. So check that out at in5d.net. What else? I don't know.
No, that's about it, I think. Yeah.
That is it. Yep. Okay, well, thanks again for everyone for joining us, whether it's live or the recorded version. Give us a thumbs up, like, share, because that helps get this awareness out to a lot more people, and perhaps that'll help bring about, all that technology once we get that awareness and global consciousness up there. So thank you for everyone that has liked and shared these videos, and we'll hopefully see you on Thursday.
Yeah. Okay. So, see you later, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Love you all.